It's week number 5 of the high school football season, and we welcome you to the Personal Touch Party Rentals pregame show. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shumaker and Mareion Royster. Tonight, we're at Fulton Field where the Lancaster Golden Gales will host the Hilliard Davidson Wildcats. Let's bring in Mareion to talk about the Wildcats. Mareion, this is a team that they're on a 3-game losing streak, which is something new to them, rare to them. They have not been on a 3-game losing streak since 2002. What do they need to do tonight to turn that around?
Well, they really just, so far it's kind of been some tough breaks as well. They need to come together a little bit as a football team. But what we do know about Davidson is that they're a very tough, very scrappy football team. They've had some tough breaks, had a couple tough losses, overtime loss to Hilliard Derby, I believe it was. But I think they're going to come out tonight and play Lancaster very tough. They're strong, they're physical, got some good size, so they should match up well with Lancaster. And if things are close at the end, their junior kicker, Sean Carrier, is one of the best in Central Ohio.
Let's bring in Tim to talk about the host team, the Lancaster Golden Gales. And Tim, this is a team on an upswing. We talked about Hilliard Davidson being in a 3-game losing streak. The Gales on a 2-game winning streak, feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Yeah, they ought to be more confident. They had 2 really good teams they played right off the bat in Springfield and DeSales. But, coming off a big win up at Newark, that always gets Lancaster people excited for this week. And I think we're going to have a real head knocker this weekend, Jared.
Got a good old-fashioned good one for you here from Fulton Field. We hope you'll stick with us. The kickoff is coming up next in the high school football game of the week.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
Meals on Wheels has been delivering a meal, a smile, and a promise for over 40 years. Meals on Wheels offers both signature home-delivered meals as well as our community meal sites, with a variety of supportive services to enable independent living and improve the quality of life of older adults in Fairfield County. The current facility is simply not big enough to accommodate the needs of seniors in our county. Since the last renovation in 1997, the agency has almost doubled the number of meals produced, packaged, and delivered, maxing out the production space. Within the next 10 years, we expect to double production again. With the community's support, Meals on Wheels will be able to make it a reality. We are asking you to join us in the amazing work that we do by pledging your financial assistance to the project. Your gift today will enable us to keep our promise for many more tomorrows.
Almost everyone needs a car to get from point A to point B, and many families have 2 or more cars. At Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster, we specialize in hard-to-find used cars. Due to the recent success of the new car market, there is a large inventory of used cars available for resale. We can help you find exactly what you're looking for. With over 15 years at this location and 27 years experience in the business, we are the best place to go to find your next car, truck, van, or SUV. As a member of the Better Business Bureau, we are a Carfax Advantage dealer and offer great financing rates through a local area bank, with warranties available on most vehicles. We know your time is valuable, so we take special pride in making sure that you get what you came for at a price that you can afford.
Come into the Carriage Company and check out our sweet deals.
Stop by today and let us help you, or visit us online at carriagecompany.com.
For nearly 90 years, Kumler Collision and Automotive has shown a commitment to excellence with decades of experience and a passion for auto and body repair. Over the years, we've been a big part of seeing this community grow. Our employees are dedicated, hard-working members of this community and care about our customers long after they leave. Kumler Collision and Automotive. We're your neighbors, your friends, and if it's important to your family, it's important to ours.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, Edwards Insurance, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Tiki Bowling Lane, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Meals on Wheels, Granville Milling, Don's Furniture, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, Fairfield DD, Huddle Tire, Dagger Law, The Carriage Company, Absolute Lawn Care and Snow Removal, the Lancaster Eagle Gazette, Fleet Masters, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Welcome back to Fulton Field on a warm night for high school football, week number 5. Tim, we talk about being week number 5. Hard to believe that we're still in the 80s here toward the end of September.
I think it hit 90, Jared, and it sure feels like it in here.
Our keys to the game tonight brought to you by Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Yes, Buckeye Lake Marina is still open, as well as the rest of the businesses in the Buckeye Lake Marina area, or the Buckeye Lake area, that is. They look forward to your support. Contact Buckeye Lake Marina at 740-467-2697 or by email tim@buckeyelakemarina.com. And as we look at the keys to the game, Tim, we touched briefly in the pregame about Hilliard Davidson being on that 3-game losing streak, but part of the reason for that, they're still trying to find themselves. They're a very young football team.
Well, Jared, when you look at graduation for them, they lost 21 players last year. And when you play juniors and sophomores, it's different because their preparation to play, they have not gone through some of the things you have to go through as a JV and freshman player sometimes. And you stick them in, and Friday night's totally different. Just the whole competitive thing, the speed. But you have to start learning at some point. You know, we're into, as you said, week 5. We're halfway through the football season. You got to start showing improvement at some point. And you know what? Coach White's teams always do that. They always get better. And, I can say that about Lancaster. Yeah. They tend to get better. Both these teams tend to get better as the season goes on.
We mentioned Lancaster coming in at 2-2. They've won their last 2 games, and what you see is what you get with them. They're gonna pound the football on the ground. Not a lot of passing, but the interesting thing, and I guess the exciting thing about Lancaster, it seems like year after year, is you just don't know who's going to have a 100-yard night. They've got so many running backs in that stable that they can go to. And last week, Alex Widener, a junior, stepped in a backup role and had over 100 yards. And so it just seems like year in and year out, somehow Coach Carpenter finds plenty of running backs.
Well, if you're going to run just the football, you have to have that depth, Jared, because there's going to be nicks and other reasons why players can't play, all 48 minutes. You have to have people ready. So, and when we talk about the Gales, in a way, without the exact same offense, when you look at Davidson, you see the same thing, Jared. They're going to run the football. They're going to execute, and look at that view. Beautiful.
That's a live shot going on right now over top from our drone camera. Just a nice night for high school football, and field in pretty good condition when you consider that both Lancaster and Fisher Catholic play on here. They've got it in good shape tonight. Let's go down. Go ahead.
Yeah, just with it's been so dry here and hot, we really haven't had a lot of rain either. Yeah. And like you said, it does looks pretty plush, doesn't it?
Let's go down to Mareion. Mareion, we talked about the heat earlier, but from a player's perspective, it's got to be in the back of your mind all the time. Got to stay hydrated. Got to stay hydrated.
Oh, it always is, definitely, Jared. You mentioned, it being, hot weather, and with it being, so late in the season, sometimes your body gets accustomed to the hot weather in training camp and during 2 days, but then your body kind of goes into a lull once the cooler weather comes. So it'll be interesting to see how, the dichotomy of, having back to, very humid weather tonight affects Lancaster, especially with a lot of their players playing both ways.
That's a really good point, and being a teacher here at Lancaster High School, I often get a chance to talk to some of the coaches. And that's one of the things that they pointed out that they missed about their pre-season or their early season practices. They didn't have a whole lot of hot weather to prepare them for nights like this, and they missed that. Lining up for the kickoff. Our kickoff tonight is brought to you by Tiki Bowling Lanes, fun for the whole family, offering specials throughout the week. And check out their new menu at the restaurant. To find out more, you can visit them on the web at tikilanes.com. It'll be the Davidson Wildcats kicking off to the Golden Gales, who are in all blue tonight with the gold helmets. Kicking off for the Wildcats will be Sean Carrier. Mareion mentioned him. He's got a big leg. Back deep for the Gales is number 15, Max Hamilton, and number 6, Jake Richards.
You know, a note on that, Jared, I can't remember having seen a Davidson team that has not had a good kicking game, and that falls right into with the style you play when you rush the football.
Hamilton will take it about the 3-yard line, coming up across the 10 and out to the 21-yard line. That's where the Gales go on offense.
See, that's an excellent deep kick, but what's even better was the coverage.
Yeah, it was. Lancaster's led on offense by their junior quarterback, Tyler Monk, a 5'11", 165-pound junior. In the backfield, expect to hear a lot of Shea Goss's name tonight. Also DJ Pearson back there, Brandon Barnett, and I mentioned earlier Alex Widener, who will see some action as well. Monk with Goss right behind him. 1st and 10 Gales. Goss, I said Goss right behind him. It was actually DJ Pearson behind him, and Goss took the handoff. No gain on the play.
Well, one of the things when defending teams that rush the ball specifically, number one, you've got to try to gain advantage up front, point of attack. Secondly, when there are lots of ball fakes, as Lancaster used lots of fakes in misdirection, you have to play your assignment as far as Davidson's concerned.
Here's Barnett over the right tackle. Barnett getting out to the 25-yard line, brought down right there. And on the tackle is number 7, A.J. Van Voorhis, and number 9, Ethan Royer. Bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Gales. Exciting night here at Fulton Field. It is Hall of Fame induction night. Coming up at halftime, they'll be inducting some new members to the Hall of Fame. We'll tell you about them in just a little bit. As the Gales face 3rd down and 6. Here's Barnett after the give to Goss. He takes it from Goss and gets close to the 1st down, but I think he's short by about a yard.
He is. Davidson did a really good job tackling the ball. After he had made some yardage, they put the runner on the ground, so they're going to get the football, Jared.
So Lancaster forced the punt. To do the punting for Lancaster is number 14, Curtis Young, who's also the backup quarterback. And back deep for Hilliard Davidson is number 23, Christian Sweet. 4th down and 1. Nice punt from Curtis Young. Backs up Sweet all the way to the 31. Sweet, gets a nice block. Sweet still on his feet to the 45 and dragged down close to midfield.
Well, that's really big for Davidson, getting good field position to start your opening drive on the road.
Looked like Max Hamilton had a beat on the runner, tracked him down, but then he got laid out. So the Wildcats take over 1st and 10 near midfield. Great field position to start their first drive. Carson Filicetti will lead the offense. I formation. Coming in motion is Ben Wright. 2nd back through the line. Gets the handoff. Trying to find the numbers. 25 was the ball carrier. That's Jordan Hicks. Nice gain on 1st down. 2nd and 6. Filicetti pitches it out. It's Hicks again. Hicks, nice job defensively this time by the Gales. Getting in there, number 27. That is A.J. Cook.
Yeah, outstanding job on the defending the pitch off the option there, Jared.
Big 3rd down right here. 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you talk about Davidson starting every possession. Center Sam Blackenstow is an Army signee, so that's somebody good to start with, touching the ball every time you have it.
Uh-oh, it's loose on the field, and the Gales recover. I think it's Shea Goss getting on it.
It is. Now that's really big for Lancaster. You know, we just talked about field position.
Mareion, that's one of those things that you see a lot when you run this type of offense.
Absolutely, yeah. Just to exchange snafu between the quarterback and the fullback coming through. The fullback tries to take the ball. Sometimes the quarterback doesn't pull it out in time, and sometimes that's just what happens. But just repetition is what needs to happen in order to make sure that doesn't happen again.
We saw last year up at Hilliard Davidson, Lancaster turned the ball over a couple times early. That really cost them. Now we see on the other side Hilliard Davidson turn it over. We'll see what the Gales can do with it. 1st and 10. at their own 45, and now they fumble on the exchange from Monk to Barnett, and that's going to be a loss of 5 on the play. They'll actually mark it at the 41, so it's 2nd down and 14. Monk with Widener right behind him. Goss in motion. Monk back to pass, looking downfield. Nobody's open. Good coverage. And then a nice job by Jake Richards to make himself open. And a great pass from Tyler Monk. 1st down, Gales.
Wow, that's a great read by Tyler. He looked middle first, Jared. This was his 2nd option, and he threw a beauty right in there.
Great pass by Monk to Richards right over top of the defender.
Now, which one of these teams gets a little advantage in the passing game is going to go a big way because neither one of them throws the ball a lot.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Monk. The give to Richards across the 20. They'll pick up 3 on the play. Watch how low Tyler Monk gets under center. When he's about to take the snap, he's really squatted down there.
Pretty much head level with the defense, isn't he?
Yeah. The confusion here, they broke the huddle, then came back to the huddle. Monk to Whitener right up the middle, big hole there. Nice job by the offensive line, led by the center, Vince Albertini.
Yeah, we have 2 outstanding centers in this game, and that's not always the case. Sometimes with multitude of linemen, we see a lot of good players, but usually aren't both the centers. And you know, Vince was an outstanding player last year as a sophomore, and he's having a great year this year. And we already talked about Sam Blackenstow on the Hilliard side.
Actually, I got to correct that. Nate Weber is the center. Vince Albertini moved over to the guard position, I believe. And a flag comes in late here on a close to a 1st down run. We'll see what that one is.
Yeah, from the umpire, that's usually a holding call. Or illegal block of some kind interiorly.
Yep. Oh, goes on Davidson. We'll hear it on our mic'd up call.
It's a personal foul, Jared, so
half the distance.
Yes.
1st and goal at the 7. Monk gives off to Widener, and not much there. Might have gained a yard up to the 6-yard line. Second and goal. Jake Parker brings the play in for the Gales. They've got Richards, Goss, and Widener out there. Goss in motion. He takes a handoff and did a nice job after the initial hit to at least make positive out of it. And they'll mark him down at the 5, 3rd and goal.
Traditionally, Lancaster's runners have always made outstanding effort to gain extra yards, Jared, even after like that contact there to get forward and make something positive.
Clock rolls at 5:36 in the 1st quarter. No score. Gales on the move. 3rd and goal at the 5. Fumble on the exchange, and Monk just falls on it back at the 11-yard line. And looks like Lancaster now will attempt a field goal.
But has 2 of those already here in the 1st quarter. And you know, when you get into week 5, those things have to be minimal, Jared. To make improvement, you have to minimize those type of errors.
Peyton Stewart comes on to attempt the field goal. Will officially be, looks like a 27-yarder out of the hold of Tyler Monk from the left hash. Kick is up, and it is good, but we have a flag. Ooh, offsides on Hilliard Davidson.
Unfortunately, it's before the live ball.
Foul. Trent. Fourth down.
I believe he said 23, but it's still fourth down. And goal moves it up to the 7-yard line.
See, that really, what I don't like about that is that rewards the defense in that situation.
Yeah, that's true.
If you make a mistake, that should not reward the defense.
Right. Just, yeah, can't they just let it go? And if you make the field goal, decline it.
Exactly.
So now it is a 23-yard field goal. It is up and it's blocked. There you go. That's exactly what you talked about,
yeah,
Shu.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, but sometimes things in the football rule book don't make sense to me.
Yeah. Mareion, that's going to take the wind right out of their sails. It looked like they were going to march in for an easy score, then an easy field goal, and a nice job. Got to give credit to Hilliard Davidson stepping up there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, making a goal line stand, even though, you know, the points were, you know, unofficially on the board, and then they came off the board because of the offsides penalty. So Hilliard Davidson kind of lucked into one there,
Yeah.
but I still got to give them credit. They had an amazing siege just in the front of the line right there as the kick was going up, and blocked it pretty cleanly.
On 1st and 10, not much of a gain there.
Now, if you're out there watching, look at the splits.
That's
between
exactly
the
what I was
linemen.
getting ready to say to you.
Yeah, it's very different, and
I don't remember that last year out of them.
it just depends on your group, you know, and I'm sure Coach White has his reasons for it, but I'm sure it gives them some leverage, some angles that they want to have in their blocking schemes.
Yeah, look how far apart they are.
At least, what, 3 to 5 feet?
I mean, that split between the center and the left guard. It's a big one. Quarterback kept it, and a nice job defensively. Who was in there? 21, DJ Pearson on the initial hit. He read that perfectly.
Gale's defense is swarming right now, Jared.
Third down and 11. 3:30 to play here in this first quarter. No score. Delacetti hands off, second man through. Off the right guard. Short gain on the play. And on fourth down now, it'll force a punt from Hilliard Davidson. Good job defensively by the Gales. Got a shot there in the student section. The Fulton Fanatics are out in force tonight. Richards back deep to receive the punt. It's a short end over end kick. Jake lets it bounce. We'll take it on a bounce at the 37-yard line. And we'll get up to about the 42. Still decent field position for the Gales to start out here.
I tell you, I thought Tristan Rothenberger was going to shove the Davidson player in the back there.
Yeah.
That's a really good choice of keeping your hands off. You know, there's an element of discipline that comes into making mistakes and having penalties.
Yeah.
There are some things that you're just going to do because you play the game and you take risks. But there is an element of discipline that has to come into play. And with both these teams, they finished strong last year. Both teams finished really strong, had good runs, and lost first-round playoff games. They both want to do the same thing. So this is kind of a hinge game as far as if I'm looking at it to get where they want to get, because it's not going to get easier. Lancaster's division, we know, is very good and very strong. But Davidson has some people coming up that the front end of their schedule was pretty heavy as far as good teams, and they played really good competition. So, you know, for both these teams, being at midpoint, this is a pivotal game as far as maybe where you're going to be at the end of the year.
We've got an official timeout on the field. We're used to seeing this early in the season, but in week 5, not really used to seeing water breaks.
You mean it's not August 22nd? Oh.
Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. You can check out their website at carriagecompany.com. So the officials call the timeout for the players to get some water. And we are back ready for action here. Gales 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. 2:35 to play in the first quarter. Monk gives it off Pearson right up the middle. And Pearson out to midfield.
That's a really good burst by the Gales offense right there, Jared.
Second down and 10, or sorry about that, 2nd and 3 here. Need to get to the 48 for a first down. Nick Scott resets to the right side of the line. Here's Pearson again. He's got the first down. I mentioned that they have a full stable of backs. You know, Pearson sits out the first drive, and they bring in Widener. Then Widener gets a break, and that's just something that Coach Carpenter has always been. His staff has always been good at developing running backs.
I think they foster that idea of having depth at the backfield, and we see it year in, year out, Jared. We've come out here for a long time now, and we've seen this over the years. But the whole thing with this, your fullback still has to be a threat in this offense.
1st and 10. Monk gives it to Goss. Goss follows Pearson out to about the 44-yard line.
Yeah, a little motion, so almost like just a power sweep with another lead block or with your wing out there.
Yeah. They lost one of their running backs from last year who had a really good season as a sophomore last year. Lucas Gowerke ended up tearing his labrum late in the season, and it's still something that bothers him. So he decided to sit out this football season, but he got a lot of action last year as a sophomore, did really well. So they've still done a nice job of finding guys to replace him along with the guys that graduated. Mason Hamilton on the carry now across the 40, close to a first down. He might be short by about a yard.
Play really went wide. The Davidson team took it clear to the sideline, and he did a nice job of gaining extra yards with a little stiff arm and some good balance.
3rd and 2. Under a minute to play here in this first quarter. Monk gives it to Pearson. Pearson has the first down across the 35, and that will be how the first quarter ends, with a 0-0 tie, and most of the ball game so far been played on this end of the field. I doubt they'll even try to run another play here as the clock rolls down to 7 in the first quarter. So on a warm night from Fulton Field, we played one quarter and no score. And Tim, that gives us a chance to thank some sponsors tonight.
I say thank you to your community newspaper, the Lancaster Eagle Gazette. They give you news, weather, sports, and so much more at LancasterEagleGazette.com. For up-to-date game stats, look for them on Twitter at #EagleGazette. And let's say thank you to Standing Stone Bank. Whether you're ready to tackle a mortgage loan or need cash for home improvements, make Standing Stone Bank the key player in your home or business financial plans. Business to business, neighbor to neighbor, let's grow this town together. Standing Stone Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This game has officially been going on for 19 minutes, and we're already through one quarter.
I'm not always superstitious, but I really don't like when you talk about the time of the game when we're doing them. Nothing personal.
Some scores from around the area tonight. Early on in the first quarter, Amanda Clear Creek leads Fairfield Union 7-0 in the Mid-State League. Millersport and Fairfield Christian 0-0 in the first quarter. Hamilton Township leads Bloom Carroll 7-0 in the first quarter. Bishop Reedy leads Liberty Union 7-6 in the first quarter. So we'll see if Carroll can rebound after that loss last week to Tays Valley.
Yeah, that's one of the things you have to find out about your team, how resilient you really are when you have a little adversity.
Got to give a shout out to your son-in-law, Drew Cannon, for giving us the a scoop on a new app that gives us scores in the palm of our hand. Here's Pearson, good run up across the 20-yard line, and the Gales are in red zone again.
Yeah, they've really gouged the Davidson defense on straight line runs here using the fullback here. That's where they've had the most success. But like we talk about other things a lot of times, you still have to be the threat on the perimeter. You have to be a threat off tackle. You have to provide those to sometimes open this up. And right now, it's been a very good game plan for Lancaster.
First and goal at the 19-yard line. Pearson remains in that backfield behind Monk. It's Hamilton to the left, Shea Goss to the right. Here goes Hamilton, and it'll be Pearson. No, Monk keeps it around the right side, and he's down inside the 10-yard line. Good decision by the junior quarterback, Tyler Monk.
Well, it's a good time to run the keeper also, Jared, because you've had success hitting it straight line with the fullback. Is you pulled him in, and you know this is all about leverage, angles, assignments, and strength tonight. It's one line versus the other, and it's very simple. Football, simple in a sense that the concepts are fairly simple, but they're hard to execute because they require details.
2nd and 2 for the Gales. Ball spotted, looks like they put it right at the 10-yard line. Here's Pearson, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. Mareion, how about the job of the blocking that the Gales are doing tonight? Both the offensive line, the tight ends, and the lead running backs doing a great job opening up some holes tonight.
Yes, Jared, they absolutely have been. They've really been, pushing the Davidson front up, pretty well, moving them out of the way, getting them to where they want to go. And as Tim mentioned earlier, the misdirection on some of the plays where they get them flowing one way, and then they're able to take advantage of the back or quarterback coming around the end has really been advantageous to him tonight.
Official stops play. I believe the down marker still lists 2nd down over on the far sideline, and it should be 1st down.
So I did. It was goal. It's made it 1st and 10.
Kind of hear them talking in our official's mic.
Hard line. He put it on the last hard line. We had
This made first down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so simple solution there. The down marker was listed at 2nd down, and they just picked up the 1st.
Well, really good job of getting everybody together there, making sure that you get it right in this situation because they do not have review.
Right. 1st and goal for the Gales at the 8. Max Hamilton splits out wide to the left along with the tight end, Nick Scott. Here's Pearson right up the middle, big hole, touchdown Gale.
Wow. Talk about a big hole, like you said, Jared. That opened up.
Great job by that offensive line. Nate Weber, the center, Vince Albertini at guard, Quentin Burke in there. Guys doing a great job opening some holes for these running backs. So the Gales up 6-0. They'll try to tack on the extra point here. Peyton Stewart out of the hold of Tyler Monk. A snap from Nick Scott. Good snap, good hold, and it is good. With 10:13 left to play in the first half, the Gales on the board first. They lead at 7-0 on a beautiful night here in Lancaster, Ohio at Fulton Field. Tonight's scoreboard sponsors, you see there at the bottom of the screen, is Buffalo Wild Wings. For great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town, it's all Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center on North Memorial Drive. And remember, for every one of our games of the week, Buffalo Wild Wings will have the instant replay televised after the game at the Lancaster location. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the gang at Buffalo Wild Wings. So good start for the Gales, up 7-0, and in all reality, could be at least 10-0.
Well, it's not, so you have to work ahead. I mean, but you are correct. They've had a really good first half here. You know, in the first quarter, had a couple mishandles, which we talked about at this point in the year, minimizing and eliminating those type of things. Both teams, we've had minimal penalties, and that's how you're successful. But we'll find out about this young, inexperienced team of Davidson. You know, I know Coach White has been very concerned. Not sure that they've made the growth that he wants at this point. But like I said, tonight will be a real good measure for him. He'll get a great view on film of what his team is going to look like probably the rest of the year.
Stewart's kickoff will be taken at the 12-yard line by number 23, Christian Sweet. Sweet up the near sideline, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 46. Peyton Stewart, the kicker, had to be the man to knock him out. That's never good when the kicker's the one making the tackle.
No, but that's an outstanding job right there. He saw straight line, came hard, and you didn't look like it was much there, but he made a lot out of it.
There's the drive summary for the Gales. 9 plays, 58 yards, 4 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. An 8-yard touchdown run for DJ Pearson. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Good field position at their own 47-yard line.
Look at their offensive formation now.
Handoff right up the middle, first man through. That is number 12, Caleb O'Connor.
Little single wing action there they showed in their formation when generally they play out of a power I or veer. They run a lot of the same type things, Jared. But look, we have the 2 wing backs, the fullback.
Felicetti sends his man in motion. Hands it off again. Again, I believe it's number 12, Caleb O'Connor. And he's up near the 45-yard line of the Gales. Put him a couple yards short of the first down.
Yeah, that's just a really tough physical football play right there. Linemen getting off, defensive linemen fighting. Just, again, we talk about getting lower than your person, moving them, getting an angle. That's outstanding job as they slanted the fullback. Now here we're back to the power I formation.
Quarterback keeps it himself, and he's stuffed right at the 45, and I don't think he got the first down.
He did not.
Looks like Alex Widener in there, as well as Jake Richards, and number 74 for the Gales. That is Spencer Smith.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to punt the football here, Jared. Coach White's decided to put the punt unit in, unless these are just other backs.
Could be.
Yep, they're going for it.
And Lancaster, Coach Carpenter, going to take a timeout after he sees the setup.
Hey, we got timeout. Lancaster.
There's our Mike Ref. Tonight's Mike the Ref brought to you by Fleet Masters. They specialize in medium and heavy-duty truck and trailer repair, as well as fleet management for all makes and models of automobiles. Fleet Masters serves customers throughout central and southeastern Ohio. Fleet Masters is located, locally owned rather, and has a full-service facility located at 202 Corey Road in Lancaster. Contact Fleet Masters to discuss your business fleet's needs.
One thing lost in the last couple games that the Gales have played, guys, they've obviously rushed for a lot of yards, put up a lot of points on the board, but the defense has played spectacular as well. Even though the competition has been, maybe less than what they would have normally have seen, last week against Newark, they held them to negative yards rushing. I think it was actually negative 16 yards rushing. So regardless of what kind of competition you're playing, holding a team to negative rushing yards is pretty impressive, and you see them, continuing that this evening.
Absolutely.
Super power eye here, Jared.
Yes, sir. 4th and 2. Felicetti hands it off. It's got the first down. That's Ben Wright on the carry.
I mean, there's a simple reason for that. You have more blockers than they have defenders right there, and you just put them in motion. Give Hilliard credit. Did a great job of getting thrust on the left side of the line, and when you need 2 yards, you ought to be able to pick it up.
Abigail.
Mareion's so right about defensively. It doesn't matter who you play. If you shut somebody down like that, it doesn't matter what level or who you play. You've done an outstanding job.
1st and 10. Pitch out to Jordan Hicks. Hicks trying to get around the outside. Nice job breaking one tackle. It dives forward near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that time they got the key block and really got to the outside where we saw the option earlier, and the Gales defended really good over here.
Second and 1. 8:02 to play in the first half. Felicetti back to pass. He's pressured, and it'll be brought down. It's Shea Goss on the sack, way back across the 40-yard line.
Well, we talked earlier, whoever has a little success in the passing game is going to get an advantage tonight, because neither one of them uses it a lot. But if you're efficient, successful with it, it can be a big tool tonight to gain the victory.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but he had Jordan Hicks running wide open down the middle of the field.
Wow.
He had beat the linebacker coming out of the backfield, but Lancaster was able to give that pressure, so he wasn't able to get him the football.
3rd and 10, pitch out. Coming out to Ben Wright. Wright tries to get to the outside, and a great tackle by number 3, Ethan Poe.
He did a great job coming up from his defensive backfield spot and made it, as you said, a great tackle. Picture perfect.
4th and 8 for the Wildcats, and this time it does look like they'll punt, try to pin Lancaster back deep.
Yeah, you're only down 1 score. At this point,
Right.
Coach White knows his team better than anybody else here in the stadium, so he's doing what he thinks is going to help his team be successful.
Jake Richards stands at his own 7-yard line to receive the punt. It'll bounce at the 14 and roll inside. Nice Hilliard Davidson bounce inside the 5, and it'll be down at the 4-yard line. So a good job on the punt by Hilliard Davidson.
Yeah, you net 37 yards with no return, Jared. That's outstanding.
6:27 to play in the first half. Lancaster leads at 7-0. They'll go back on offense, but their backs to the wall. See Coach sending in the play there with Tyler Monk. Monk with Pearson right behind him. Goss in motion. Here is Pearson up the middle, and not a whole lot there.
Well, to be honest, they've had great success with the fullback dive. Why not if it can get you out of trouble here? It's a good attempt.
Second and 2, or rather 2nd and 8. They gained 2 on that last play. Good gain there out across the 10-yard line by number 2, Shea Goss. He's close to a first down. Need to get to right about the 14. So it's 3rd down and 2 here.
Sounds funny, but in all honesty, Jared, this is a big play in the game. When you look at field position, time of clock, situation, This is a big play.
Max Hamilton rather, splits out to the near side. They had 2 guys in motion going at each other at the same time. And everybody on Lancaster side stopped, but that one's going to come back. Not sure why they didn't blow the whistle.
Well, I think it was illegal motion is why, but again, I am certainly no expert on football rules, nor do I understand why they do stop the clock sometimes and don't other times.
That's a big penalty. It was
sure is.
It was from 3rd and 3 back to 3rd and 8.
Both these teams with
Eagle a shift on
the way these teams execute and have a concept about playing the game offensively. You cannot have penalties and put you in distance and down situations that are not good, and you can't have turnovers.
Right.
You won't have a chance.
Fortunately, our referee mic sounds like it's cutting out tonight. 3rd down and 8 for the Gales. Taking a long time to get the play in.
Well, whoever's in charge of helping them with that's not done a good job, obviously, the referee. So I'm not sure who does that for us. But
is that Jason?
Well, don't mention names.
Why not? Hey, speaking of our crew, they do a great job. Our crew tonight got the gang back together. Down in the truck, we have Shane Messina, Hunter Wright, Bob Campetti. On stats tonight, Beth Campetti. And on cameras, Jim Spires, Jason Roush, and Tom Russo. Doing a great job bringing you all the pictures into your living room.
There used to be a TV show called The Gang's All Here, something like that.
That predates me, I think.
Well, that's not hard to do anymore with me and you. But big play. You got 3rd and 8 now. You went from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. You know what's interesting is, Davidson's had an unbelievable run program-wise. Just coming into this season, Jared, they are seeking their 10th consecutive trip to the playoffs, and
wow.
that's just not easy.
No.
I mean, the competition's fierce, and they've won 2 state championships, and if we have time later, we elaborate on a couple of those later, but just an outstanding program. So, this is something they're not used to, being down, and but you really find out a lot of things about yourself and your team here.
3rd down and 8. Monk turns and gives to Shea Goss. Not much there, and the Gales will be forced to punt.
Yeah, ran a little counter with the double handoff, seeing if they could catch him over pursuing, but credit to Davidson's defense. They stayed their assignments, and now they're going to get an opportunity with just a little over 4 minutes to get the ball in really good field position.
Curtis Young will be forced to punt.
But you look at that penalty and how that can turn a game. You just can't make those kind of mistakes if you're going to be successful.
Good snap. Oh, no, Young kind of shanked this one off to the side, and it goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Hilliard Davidson going to have excellent field position to start this drive.
Yeah. If you're looking at it from the Lancaster viewpoint defensively, you just got to buckle up and get ready to go.
And you mentioned it. That was a big shift there and kind of momentum with that penalty because, now if Hilliard Davidson can go in and for a score here, then they get the ball to start the second half. First and 10, Hilliard Davidson. Rossetti gives off to the second back through. That's Ben Wright. Short gain on the play.
Yeah, nothing there. Lancaster defense did a really good job.
Going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Dalton Golden and DJ Pearson did a really great job right there, Jared. Stepped right in and filled that up quickly.
And Dalton Golden going against that center who's going to Army. Wow, good defense this time by the Gales to back up Hilliard Davidson. Hey, Mareion Royster's got some special fans in on the field, some of the Fulton Fanatics. Mareion, what's going on down there?
I absolutely do, Jared. I'm here with some of the Fulton Fanatics, the very famous, infamous, if you will, Fulton Fanatics. Can you tell me you guys' names?
I'm Ryan Arter. Avery Baker.
Becca Hoffman.
All right, thanks for being down here. So first of all, I got to ask, you guys got amazing weather for September, late September. Oh, yeah. How come you guys don't have your shirts off and have them painted?
Oh, we're not allowed, but we definitely would be doing it if we could. So.
All right, well, that's okay. That's okay. So what do you guys think of your Gales so far? Got a 7-0 lead. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, it's great to get the early lead, especially on tough teams like Hilliard.
Thanks. Absolutely. So have a couple baseball shirts here. Do you play baseball? Is it anything that you're, do extracurricularly?
I'm just a fan of baseball, and I go to all the teams, all the sporting events, and Avery's baseball.
Yeah, I'm on the baseball team.
Baseball guy. Okay, fantastic. Now I saw the loudest you guys got earlier was when they were throwing hot dogs, or was it brats in the stands?
Yeah, I think it was hot dogs. The principal was chucking them at us. I think only a couple people got them because the rest of them hit the ground.
So you guys got a new principal. What do you think of the new principal so far this year?
Oh, yeah. He's awesome. Yeah, he's completely changed the school. Yeah. Changed the school in a way better way. So much more pride. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Seems like a great guy, and I'm glad you guys are having a great school year so far and enjoying your Gales up right now. So why don't you get the crowd pretty hyped for me one last time before we go out? Fulton Fanatics, back to you, Jared.
Thanks, Mareion. Great job down there interviewing the Fulton Fanatics. Here's Mason Hamilton, going to be tackled for a loss. A good job again defensively by the Gales to hold Hilliard Davidson to a punt. Mareion mentioned new principal. We're going to talk to the new principal, Scott Burry, coming up in the third quarter. And one of his assistants, Steve Spangler, has been known this school year, this football season, to lead some of the cheers down at the bottom of the students section down there. Second down and 12. Monk gives it off. I believe that's Pearson. Short gain on the play, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good timeout call here by Davidson when you're looking at 2 minutes and you still might get really good field position.
I want to tell you, coming up, we're going to have our halftime band show. Our halftime band show will be brought to you by Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments. Family owned and operated since 1889. Their website at funeralhome.com will guide you through the choice of dignified funeral services and monuments with personalized options. Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. The band show will also be brought to you by Fairfield Federal. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access and manage your accounts 24 hours a day with internet banking and bill pay service. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That'll be the band show coming up in just about 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The Band of Gold had their invitational competition last Saturday, and they received a superior rating, a 1 rating, which sends them to state competition, I believe, in November. So congratulations to Ben Factor and the Lancaster Band of Gold. .221 to play in the first half. 3rd down and 10 for the Gales. Monk keeps it himself, and it'll be wrapped up at the 20-yard line. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Alex Van Voorst did a great job, Jared. He did not go for the inside fake. Played the quarterback keeper as good as you could.
And Hilliard Davidson will take another timeout. Tim, give us a chance to thank some sponsors.
Thanks to Granville Milling, your source for quality farm, garden, and pet feeds and supplies. Excited to announce that their new and used firearms and ammunition department. You can check them out at 1522 East Main Street in Lancaster. Let them know when you stop in that you heard about them on the Fairfield County High School Football Game of the Week. Granville Milling, 740-654-6685. And Absolute Lawn Care and Snow Removal, LLC, is a fully insured, locally owned business. Whether it's residential or commercial, they can handle it all. Mowing, landscaping, mulching, spring and fall cleanup, and even pressure washing. Specializing in all your lawn care and snow removal needs, Absolute Lawn Care has you covered. They strive to provide the highest quality of work at low prices. For your free estimate, you can contact them at 740-215-5108.
So 4th down and 9. The Gales will punt. Curtis Young stands at his 5-yard line. And back for the Wildcats, number 23, Christian Sweet. He had a great return earlier. See what he can do here. Young gets the punt away. Better punt this time. High one taken by Sweet, and a great job on the coverage by Mason Hamilton.
Got like a 36-yard punt with no return, Jared. That's a big break for you.
1st and 10 for Hilliard Davidson. They trail at 7-0. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Back to the wing set here.
Filicetti hands it off to number 23. That's Sweet around the left side. And he looks like he got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, that little jet right there got him in space, and he looks like he's much more productive than maybe some of the other runners out there on the corner.
2nd down and 2 at the Lancaster 47-yard line.
Why is the clock stopped?
I think they said he went out of bounds over there on the far side. Give right up the middle. Big hole, still on his feet, across the 30. Inside the 30, who was that? That 12? That's number 12, Caleb O'Connor.
Yeah, really good rhythm right there, though, in their play. They're getting to the line, got a little more pace to them, Jared. Lancaster defense has got to get ready to go here.
Jordan Hicks splits out far to the right side. Here's O'Connor again. No check that. It's number 11, Ben Wright. He's up to the 22. Clock rolls at 1:25.
Yeah, Davidson's only got one timeout, so he's got to be a little selective here.
I've got a whistle on an official's timeout. Uh-oh. The center has blood on his skin, and so they had to send him out. That means they'll have to bring in a backup center. No, they'll move him to left guard and move the left guard over to snap this one. Not sure if the quarterback kept it.
No. He held it in his belly a long
He
time. He was taking a good hard look at it. But, you know, Davidson last year, if you remember the game up there, they had a lot of what we call the quarterback follow, where they would stick it in the belly.
Yeah.
Then he would pull back out and follow the blocker that he just faked to. And that's kind of what he was thinking about. But I think the fullback just said, give it to me.
3rd and 1, 36 seconds and counting here in the first half. Handoff to Ben Wright. He's got the first down, I believe.
No, they're going to have to check here, Jared.
It's very close. Yeah, I think they're going to stop the clock to measure.
We're checking it. First down?
No, they're not going to measure. Get over first down. So the clock stops long enough to move the chains. And Felicetti will just spike it, and it stops at 23 seconds. First and 10 at the 18-yard line. Felicetti hands off to Caleb O'Connor right up the middle. Pretty good gain up across the 15, but the clock's down to 15 seconds and still running. 3rd down and 6, down to 10 seconds. Felicetti, incomplete pass over on the far sideline, and the clock stops at 6.
There comes a point where you got to be careful. Now, here they come. You got to be careful is that
the
clock will run out on you. Yeah,
right.
You don't want to take a chance. Even though you have a timeout in this situation, you don't want to take a chance. I think this is a really good call to make sure you get an attempt at 3 points. But Lancaster's going to take the timeout now.
So the Gales will take a timeout. Sean Carrier will be on to kick the field goal, and Mareion talked about him in the pregame. Pretty good kicker that Hilliard Davidson has, Mareion.
Yes, he is a very good kicker, very accurate. Also, you know, one of the top scorers in Central Ohio as far as points in the kicking game. You know, it's a very, you know, outstanding luxury that Davidson has to know that when they get close, they can, you know, rely on the kicker and special teams in order to still get some points on the board. But you saw there at the end, you know, where, you know, teams such as Davidson that don't really throw the football a whole lot, you know, I know they want to impose their will and really, you know, hang their hat on physicality, but it really hurts them in, you know, 2-minute drills like they just saw just now, where, you know, they want to get the ball into the end zone, but they can't because the clock is not on their side.
The ball will be spotted down, held down at the 20, which makes it a 30-yard attempt for Carrier. It was a high snap at Carrier, great kick. Lots of leg in that one, puts it through for 3 points for Davidson.
Well, they got what they wanted out of it. They got a score at least in a situation here as we've kind of gone back and forth here in the last couple of minutes.
A little bit of a high snap. The holder did a great job bringing it down, but it almost looked like it messed up Carrier's timing, but it didn't mess up the kick. He booted that one through easy.
Yeah, like we said earlier, I can't remember a time having seen Davidson over the years. We've been able to see them at different times, playoff games, and I can't remember when they really didn't have solid kicking.
Yeah. And Sean Carrier is just a sophomore, so they'll have him for a couple more years.
It's a weapon at all levels, and it turns and changes games, and we see it every weekend. If you turn on from the NFL, college, high school football, it certainly makes a big difference having somebody who can, you know, put points on the board for you in situations where you might not have scored.
Mason Hamilton, Max Hamilton, and Jake Richards are back to receive the kickoff. from Davidson. 3 seconds showing on the clock.
Yeah, no surprise with this score right now, Jared. I think we came into this knowing.
Onside kick, that did not go 10 yards, still hasn't gone 10 yards. And it doesn't go 10 yards. But I see no flags on the field.
Well, what do? The other team gets the ball at the spot? What's the rule?
It doesn't go 10 yards, don't they have to
Yeah,
kick
but
it
is
over?
that correct?
Well, it was 3.
It was 3, and nobody ever touched the football.
No one ever touched the football.
Nobody
Okay,
ever
so
When
nobody touched it. Recovered. Recovered it though.
Nobody touched it. Nobody.
It didn't go 10 yards.
So we need to.
No one around and look at it. Correct. So you're giving it to them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See what he.
Okay, the
calls
ball
here.
was kicked off. No one took the ball or gained possession of the ball. The clock should still say 3 seconds.
This is
3 seconds. No
interesting.
one touched the.
That should be a penalty if it doesn't go 10 yards.
I don't know if it's a penalty if the other team, gets the opportunity to the ball.
Monk back to pass, and he'll be sacked at the 40-yard line. That'll end the first half. Pretty good first half by two good football teams. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability since 1979. Owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty on each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right. Halftime also brought to you by Granville Milling, your source for quality farm, garden, and pet feeds and supplies, is excited to announce their new and used firearms and ammunition department. You can check them out at 1522 East Main Street in Lancaster. Let them know when you stop in that you heard about them on the Fairfield County High School Football Game of the Week. That's Granville Milling, 740-654-6685. Your halftime score, Lancaster 7, Hilliard Davidson 3 on the High School Football Game of the Week.
All our times have come here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't feel the rain.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, Edwards Insurance, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Tiki Bowling Lane, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Meals on Wheels, Granville Milling, Don's Furniture, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, Fairfield DD, Huddle Tire, Dagger Law, The Carriage Company, Absolute Lawn Care and Snow Removal, the Lancaster Eagle Gazette, Fleet Masters, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Welcome to the Dream Machine. Like to be part of Dream Machine, keep me busy, and it's also important that we do it together as a group, and we plow and plant, and we have lots of produce. We have tomatoes, like one here, and gourds, cucumbers, squash, crawberries, beets, microgreens. We also have flower arrangement, and we also sell bags, those tote bags out of animal food bags, and we sell them out in the market, farmers market.
It's a special place that keeps people healthy by eating a couple fruits and vegetables. I always show people, first time they pick raspberries and green beans, I show them how to do it like they do it wrong. Picking raspberries and green beans is simple, it's easy for me. We're entering some things in the field like pumpkins, the gourds were growing, and everyone likes them. Tasty.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910, we're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
close our show tonight with participation. Please put your hands together with the good song, Hand Clap.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. No. I know she's they were down there. I can't believe we're here.
Welcome back to Fulton Field, where halftime, the Lancaster Golden Gales lead the Hilliard Davidson Wildcats 7-3. You just saw a great halftime performance by the Lancaster Band of Gold, and before them, which you didn't see, the Hilliard Davidson Wildcat Marching Band put on an outstanding show as well. And even before that, we had the Lancaster High School Hall of Fame inductions, and we're going to talk about them in just a little bit. But just a great night to be here at Fulton Field. Lots of festivities going on, and it's always a great time when there's alumni. You got to talk to some alumni earlier.
I did.
Coach Dick England, who's also a Hall of Fame member here. And you know, people that like to come back here and just support the Gales.
It's a great experience, Jared, being part of the community and part of the district here. And you already are aware of that being in the district. But it's a privilege, it's an honor, and it's just great. Tonight I can't really get away from people. It seems like just keep running into people that we don't get to see all the time
Right.
due to activities and the way life goes. But it's been a lot of fun tonight.
Well, let's talk about the game on the field. Tonight's halftime stats are brought to you by Don's Furniture, located at 1118 East Main Street. They've been serving Lancaster and Fairfield County area for 23 years. Over those years, Don's has supported numerous charities and youth sports teams, and they continue to support our community. Don's values every customer and wishes all area teams a successful season. To find out more, you can visit them on the web at donsfurniture.com.
Really not a lot to say, Jared. I mean, you know, the statistics here are going to be rushing statistics for the most part tonight. Lancaster had one really great pass play down the sideline there. And but it's about taking care of the football, not committing penalties, and field position, as we saw in the first half. It's so critical the way these teams play that you have field position to get in position to score points, because if it comes down to a kicking game, we would have to say after watching the Davidson kicker that they've got a great chance if they're going to come down to a field goal.
First half summary report is brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They've been serving the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years. And there you see the schedules of both these teams moving forward. We mentioned in the pregame that Hilliard Davidson is on a 3-game losing streak. The Gales on a 2-game winning streak. Take us through those remaining games.
Well, let's first look at Lancaster's schedule. You know, they after this game, and as we said, this is a good time to make some things happen to work toward getting better, because you play a Grove City team which has struggled here, in a little bit of a regroup situation there. Then you've got Pick Central and Lincoln, Pick North, and Runsborough. Those are tough teams,
yeah.
tough games, and that's okay. That's your league.
Right.
You look at Davidson's schedule after tonight. They play a Central Crossing team that is athletic, but I'm not sure they're as strong as Davidson, but they still have Arlington and Kaufman then right after that, which are tough football games. Now, they end the year on two teams that maybe aren't quite up yet to the caliber of those two, but their games with Arlington and Kaufman will determine whether or not they have any success. So tonight's a big game because it is a springboard into the second half.
Football's being teed up. Our second half kickoff is proudly brought to you by Tiki Bowling Lanes. Fun for the whole family, offering specials throughout the week. And check out their new menu at restaurant.com. To find out more, you can visit them on the web at tikilanes.com. Sorry, I got that mixed up. But Tiki Bowling Lanes is the place to be for bowling, great food, and they are proud to be a sponsor of our kickoff here in the second half. Peyton Stewart will kick it off for the Gales.
It had been a long time since I had thrown a bowling ball the last time we were over there, Jared.
Taken at the 15-yard line by Sweet up the sideline, and a great return once again by Sweet. And again, when you're relying on your kicker to make that last stop, it's not a good start for the Gales defensively.
Yeah, he's got the perfect name for a kick returner, because if he's getting you field position, you say that's Sweet.
Let's go down to Mareion. Mareion, we talked about the defense that Lancaster showed, but how about Hilliard Davidson? I mean, we talked earlier about it seemed like the first part of the game was on Lancaster's side of the field. Looked like they were going to be moving in, but to only give up 7 points that first half, their defense stepped up as well.
I agree, Jared. It's certainly been a bend but don't break situation for the Davidson defense out there. But, you know, they've just made plays. They've stopped Lancaster when they had to. Also in the kicking game and special teams, they've certainly made their share of plays. They blocked one of Lancaster's kicks when they had to keep the score reasonable. And then they've had a couple really nice returns to give them great field position. So, you know, it's just been a good old-fashioned slobber knocker as we, you know, pretty much expected coming into tonight. So we'll see who is victorious in the end.
2nd down and 7. Filicetti, long snap count. Handed it off over the right side. And that's a short gain on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and about 5 for Hilliard Davidson.
Again, you know, you start getting into big play situations for teams, and you know, this drive right here is going to be critical, both teams.
Filicetti hands off. First Minoe, he pitches it out. This is Jordan Hicks on the carry. He's got first down yardage and more across the 30, and a flag comes in late. This one might be coming back.
Jared, that was the ultimate hold by a receiver right there. If I'd have had a flag, I'd have thrown it from here.
Well, you always
holding back here, 10-yard spot.
We'll get our Fleet Masters mic'd up call here.
Yeah, it was pretty evident. I mean,
The holding. Offense, number 19. And 3rd down.
And Shu, how many times do we talk about it? It seems like every week there's a big run and a flag comes in, and there's a reason why it was a big run, right?
There's a reason sometimes why people make great plays.
3rd down and 11 for Hilliard Davidson.
Sometimes they're really good players, and a lot of times they get a little help from somebody making an illegal block for them.
Van Voris is split out wide to the right. Nobody's on him. And so the Gales are going to have to call a timeout. He was over there by himself. And this gives us a great opportunity to bring in a special guest tonight. Scott Burry, the principal here at Lancaster High School, is joining us in the press box. And new principal, I should say, but not new to Lancaster City Schools. You've been around a long time.
Yeah, matter of fact, my first year at Sherman, a guy right next to me kind of took me under his wing and taught me the ropes there, Tim Shumaker. So it's been a long time. It's my 20th year here in Lancaster. I spent 19 at General Sherman. It was my first high school, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Talk to us about the great things that are going on. Of course, me being a teacher here, I can witness it myself, but talk to the viewers about some of the things that are going on inside that building over there. It's just a dramatic shift in really the attitudes not only of the teachers, but I've seen it in the students as well, and that's awesome to see.
Well, one thing that we really wanted to do was make sure that we were recognizing the right kids in the building, the kids that deserve to be recognized, and focus our attention on the positive kids. And we've done that. They've taken off with it, and it's Gale pride is running rampant.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 11. Felicetti pitches out. Halfback pass. He's open down the sideline, and it's caught. That is Ethan Royer. No, check that. It's number 8, Evan Annis, going in for the touchdown.
Jared, you said he was open. That's an understatement right there. That's a great call.
Yeah. So the Wildcats take a 9-7 lead with the extra point attempt on the way. The kick will come from Sean Carrier.
We said the passing game might be the difference, and there it is. Doesn't mean the quarterback has to throw it.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up by Carrier. A line drive kick goes through, and the Wildcats take a 10-7 lead with 10:27 to play here in this 3rd quarter. Talking to Scott Burry, principal here at Lancaster High School, joining us in the press box. And Scott, one of the things that I've noticed, and a lot of people, if you're on Twitter, have noticed a real presence from you, the administrative staff, the teachers, and the students are buying in as well. Tell us where hashtag Granville Pike came from and the purpose behind it.
Well, it comes down to, like I said, we want to recognize the right kids, and we want to promote and brand Lancaster High School. And so we had to get a little, something a little different, something that will catch your attention. And I'll be honest with you, it started last year at General Sherman. Andy Knuckles and myself, he was our AD at General Sherman, now an assistant principal of high school, and we started hashtagging Union Street to kind of get some pride in General Sherman. Yeah. And it kind of came of a spoof as, people from the high school were kind of making fun of us. So we took a picture and just put a hashtag Granville Pike. So when we came on board, we thought, you know what, we're going to make it our thing and make it stand out a little bit. And, you get on Twitter and you put hashtag Granville Pike, you can go down and see all the things going on in Lancaster High School, all the things our kids are doing. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah. So tell us about the fall sports are off to a great start. Volleyball teams have got a great record. Girls soccer team had a tremendous win over Pick Central for the first time ever the other night. But that's just a couple of sports the athletic teams are doing well. Everybody seems like this fall just having their own successes.
We're getting a lot of students at games. We got soccer games and field hockey games going at the same time. We got kids attending. Our student section, I think, has been as crowded as it's been in years consistently. So kids are noticing, and they want to perform in front of their peers. And, we have teachers, and, we're giving out fans of the week to students, parents, and teachers, and people are taking note, and they want to perform.
1st and 10 Gales at their own 16-yard line. Goss takes a handoff from Monk around the left tackle. A great run by Goss on 1st down, getting up near the 25-yard line. How about the other extracurriculars? The Band of Gold had a great performance last Saturday as well. Earned a superior rating, heading on to state.
The band's done outstanding. They play the fight song in the morning on Fridays on home football games, and they're getting in with the cheerleaders, and they're getting into it. And again, people take note, and they want to perform for people watching them and who enjoy watching them.
How tough has the transition been for you, or have there been any surprises? Obviously, you're from the district, it's got to make it a little bit easier. But coming from a junior high setting, not quite as big, you step into a building of 1,800. What's been the biggest challenge?
I don't know if it's been a real big challenge, but it's been eye-opening, all the programming and opportunities we have for our kids. I had no idea from being the outside. I thought I had a pretty good idea what we had to offer. But when I got there and see all the career tech programs and the dual enrollment, the CCP, the AP, our kids at OUL, it is amazing that the opportunities that Lancaster High School has to offer our kids. It just blows me away.
1st and 10 Gales. 3 receivers out to the right side. It's Pearson right behind Tyler Monk taking the handoff. Jake Richards across the 30, jumps over one would-be tackler. Good gain there for Jake, about 5 or 6 yards.
You know, Scott, we've always talked through the years. We've been fortunate to do this for a long time. You were on the sidelines coaching the quarterbacks and many a day. But the one thing about football on Friday night in a community like Lancaster is it is a community event. It's not a football game. When you look around, you've got tons and tons of fans, whatever mixed ages. We have student body, we have cheerleaders, we have band, and we have all kinds of things going on. And you got to really be happy with what you're seeing going on here on your Friday nights.
Yeah, football Friday nights are not just football, like you said. You know, you got band and cheerleaders and fans. We had a Hall of Fame here, the junior high band out here. I mean, it is a big event, and like I said, we've tried to make everything a big event because, you know, I want to promote our kids. I said coming in the job, you know, we're about 3 things: providing the best postgraduate opportunities, providing top-notch extracurricular activities, and making respectful kids in the community of Lancaster. And, you know, this is what it's about, and we're putting on a good display.
3rd down and 3. Monk keeps it himself, and a great job by the Davidson defense, swarming him back for a loss on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Gales.
They've really turned momentum.
Yeah, they have.
Davidson's really dominated this quarter for the most part, so it's going to be Lancaster's job to get that momentum back, and it's going to start with their defense.
You mentioned the Hall of Fame inductions. You had an opportunity today to walk around with some of those inductees and get to see the school and some of the classes. How was that for you?
We had 3 inductees. Joe Ogilvie, a guy I went to high school with, was on a PGA Tour. Mark Baltz, who was a NFL official for a long time, and Richard Bradford, who played football at Indiana, was a great businessman. So I had a chance to talk to some of our kids. It was a great experience. Hearing what makes people successful. And I left our kids with this note: everybody has to come from somewhere. Right. Why can't it be you doing great things from Lancaster, Ohio? Right. And hopefully the kids were very attentive, asked some great questions, and I hopefully took some mental notes of what it takes to be successful.
And one of the things you said on day one with the students at Frosh Fest was be the best version of you that you can possibly be today. And I really see that in the classroom. Kids are buying in.
Well, that's the plan, and we hope so. Hope we buy in and get a stop here on this series right now.
1st and 10, Davidson. Great job on the defense there. Coming in, DJ Pearson led the way.
Yeah, DJ's had a really big night on both sides of the football. Done really well.
You know, this is a big game for us. This will give us some huge momentum going to OCC Ohio play. And plus, I have 2 of my college teammates that are coaching on the other side of the field. One's in the press box about 3 seats down from me, so a little extra incentive for us to win this game for me.
2nd and 10, 6:42 to play in the 3rd quarter. Filicetti pitches it out. Jake Richards right there to stop him at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, no dice that time. Great job, Lancaster defense. Penetration, took care of the fake, and then the pitch.
I want to give you a chance to give a shout-out to your Sherman folks. We're going to be here in a couple of weeks for the annual Sherman Ewing Games. We had you on last year during that. You know, you still got a great staff over there as well, picking up where you left off.
That Sherman Ewing week is great. You know, it's amazing now I got the Lancaster High School job, how much I'm rooting for Thomas Ewing now. Tell Mr. Poston that all the time.
Fumble on the pitch out on 3rd down, and a great defensive stand here by Lancaster.
Do you think he actually believes you?
I think he does now. Yeah, you know, it's you get a district job. You know, as you know, as a head basketball coach, you want the entire district to do well.
You want everybody to win.
But when you're in your own little world and you're building, you're pulling for you guys, and sometimes you're a little narrow-minded. So my focus has shifted humongously.
Jake Richards stands back at his 32-yard line to receive the punt, and it's blocked!
Wow.
A.J. Cook on the block, and it goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Special teams can get you a game, too.
That's 2 blocks we've seen tonight. One from Hilliard Davidson, one from Lancaster. Cook got in there and got on it. So good field position here for Lancaster.
But you know, Jared, one of the things, Scott, we feel privileged in what Jared and I get to do each week throughout the county, and some other counties actually at times. We get to really talk about what you just said, the positive things that's going on in education with students, whether they're players, cheerleaders, student body, coaches, officials. We get to beat the up note because in this day and age, it's not always that way.
Here's Hamilton around the right side. Great job, second and third effort. Hamilton still on his feet, never did go down, getting up near the 10-yard line.
Because kids are doing really good things, Scott, overall.
It's easy to get caught up in the negative on a day-to-day basis, and we're about controlling our own 20 square feet and doing what we can to make the place better. And I said from the beginning, Lancaster High School wasn't broke. We just wanted to make it a little bit better for kids to come to school, a little bit better for staff to come to school, and focus on the positive, focus on the kids who are doing things right, and they'll overshadow the ones that aren't. And some of those kids will fall in and follow the lead of some positive leaders.
On 2nd and 5, Goss is tripped up at the 11. I'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think that's the way we've got to go with our focus.
Here's a replay of the punt, or the block punt by A.J. Cook.
Well, the pressure comes from the left side.
Untouched.
Man, just too slow in his delivery, the punter, unfortunately. Now, did he have a chance to scoop and go? Not really. It kind of got away from him, didn't it?
A.J.'s got some speed. He came around that left side pretty much untouched. Fumble, ball's loose, but they're going to say he was down when it came loose, and that'll bring up a 4th down and a possible field goal situation here for Lancaster. I was talking to Peyton Stewart the other day in lunch here at the high school, and I asked him, "Are you prepared? What's your long?" He said, "I kicked a 50-yarder in practice." So we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do here.
Well, we'll see if he can kick it in a game, because what's he going to be?
Mason
about
Hamilton
32 yards here.
Mason Hamilton coming off favoring that right arm. "32-yard attempt for Peyton Stewart out of the hold of Tyler Monk. The snap from Nick Scott. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's just short.
Yeah, just didn't get any depth on the kick, did he?
Well, Scott, before we let you go, we got a big event coming up here tomorrow with the Bob Reel Invitational. Going to be, I guess it's safe to say, thousands of people here, from runners to spectators and coaches.
Last I heard, we were about 2,800 runners, so close to 3,000 runners, and this is one of the biggest events we put on. And I'll walk through the cafeteria, and our parents and kids and coaches are getting ready for it all the way down through our junior highs, and it's exciting. And what event this will be, and it's just, again, we're having a great year. We're having fun. Our kids are doing great. I couldn't be happier that that this position came about. And
pitch out coming to Jordan Hicks. Hicks up the sideline. It'll be pushed out of bounds right about the 35.
And like I said, where I'm at right now and seeing everything that Lancaster High School has to offer, there's no way I could go back to the JV.
Well, Scott, thanks a lot for coming up and talking to us. And you're right, school year's off to a great start. Students are really enthused about everything going on. And congratulations on a great start, and looking forward to the rest of the school year. Thanks again for coming up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime you want me on, I'll be here. I'll talk about Lancaster High School anytime, anywhere. Like I said, things are going good, and we're going to keep it going.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, Scott. That's Scott Burry, new principal here at Lancaster High School. And we're going to go down on the sidelines. Mareion Royster standing by. Scott talked about the cross-country meet tomorrow. I think Mareion has a cross-country runner down there. Let's go on down to him. Mareion, who you have?
Yes, I do. I have someone who may look like one of the Fulton Fanatics right now, but her day job, she's a cross-country runner. This is Claire McCandlish. Claire, thanks for being with us tonight.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the Bob Real cross-country meet that's going to be happening tomorrow. Obviously, it's one of the biggest events in Ohio. How do you feel about it going into it?
So we are super excited. Well, I am super excited. It's our big home meet, and we are only hosting 2 meets at Lancaster, a home one and the OCC, so it's exciting.
Yeah, so how's the season gone so far up to this meet?
So the team, well, on behalf of the girls team, we've been running pretty well, building, getting stronger every week. and just come together as a team. And then our guys, they look super tough at practice, so I'm interested to see them race tomorrow.
Fantastic. Now, I don't know a whole lot about cross country myself, as you could probably tell. I don't know, but it's probably a little different course than what some of the other runners are used to, being that it's so hilly. Do you think you have a little bit of advantage going into it?
I definitely feel that we have an advantage. We run the course every single week, every Wednesday, and we know those hills like the back of our hand. We've run on tough courses, and we're just ready to go tomorrow.
Now, this meet has been going on for a while, and you're a senior, so you've ran it for a while, but do you ever have nerves or feel a little, nervous about going into it because it's such a big meet?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited. I'm ready to enjoy my last time running that course and just to have fun tomorrow.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned this will be your last time at this meet, but do you have any plans for college, or would you like to run in college, or do you know what you're going to do?
Yeah, so I'm actually planning on majoring in nursing, so maybe I'll run, but if my major's too hard, then maybe not, but I would like to.
Any schools in mind?
I'm really liking Otterbein right now. So.
Wonderful school, wonderful school. Well, Claire, we're going to let you go because I know you need to get home and get your rest, but thank you so much for being with us, and best of luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Mareion, and thanks a lot to Claire McCandlish. And we wish her the best of luck tomorrow, as well as all of the cross-country runners going to be competing tomorrow in the Bob Reel Invitational. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. I formation behind Filicetti, handoff, second man through. That is Ben Wright for a pickup of 3 on the play.
Yeah, Davidson's having really, really good success, Jared, on the perimeter here. They've gotten outside a couple times, and it's really changed the complexion of their running game totally because it's opened up some of the things on the interior.
Inside of a minute to play in the third quarter, 10-7 the score. Again, it's Ben Wright on the carry. Short gain on the play. Big third down opportunity right here for Lancaster's defense.
Big play from field position point also.
Right.
I mean, if you can get a stop or a loss and make them punt, you might have some field position, but otherwise you're going to get in a tough situation. And the way these teams run the ball, Jared, the clock can be your enemy really fast.
Filicetti hands off right up the middle, and short gain on the play, maybe 2 or 3, up near the 35-yard line. And I'll bring up a 4th and 3.
4th down.
And time will run out here in the third quarter at Fulton Field with Hilliard Davidson on top 10-7. Tim, we have some more sponsors we want to thank, or did you get them all done tonight?
No, we did them in the first half, Jared. We had some pauses there, so I feel like we're all caught up. And
well, we talked earlier about these two teams, in particular Hilliard Davidson, with the run that they're on, going for their 10th playoff appearance in a row. Talk to us about a couple of those notable ones. This is a team that we've mentioned all along. They don't pass a whole lot, but some of the teams they played in the state finals are airing it out.
Well, I know it's been 10, 11 years, but 2006 they played a Mentor team. Mentor's one of the biggest high schools in Ohio, and Davidson won that state championship game 36-35 in double overtime. And to win it in the second overtime, they went for 2 after they scored and were a point down. So Coach White, he's gutsy. He knows what he's doing. He knows his people. And knows what they can do. The second one we were looking at and found interesting, in 2009, Davidson threw 2 passes, didn't complete 1, and beat Cleveland Glenville 16-15. Now, we say Davidson didn't throw any passes. The counter quarterback at Cleveland Glenville was Cardell Jones. Might be familiar with some of our people out there.
Yeah.
He threw 31 passes and rushed 10 times himself.
Wow.
But Davidson still came out the victor in the state championship in 2009. So, and in both the 16 points they got, both touchdowns, they went for 2.
Wow.
So Coach White knows what they're up against. He knows how to coach it. He's working to get his team better. We talked about how big a game this is for both teams heading to the second half. So, here we are. It's a 3-point game, 12 minutes to go, but that 12 minutes can evaporate quick due to the rushing.
Yeah. Of course, Lancaster looking for their 3rd consecutive playoff appearance as well.
Yes.
We have a timeout on the field as we get set for the fourth quarter. There's a look at our Fleet Masters officials for tonight.
Yeah, referee Phil Colfish, the umpire Eric Mock, lineman Paul Sells, line judge Rick Barnes, and back judge Adam Barnes.
Warm night here at Fulton Field for this OCC battle. Not a divisional battle, but still two teams from the OCC. 4th down and 3 for the Wildcats at the 35-yard line. They will go for it. Filicetti pitches it out to Ben Wright, and Wright close to the marker. I don't think he got it.
No, they're marking him short, Jared.
Jake Richards and A.J. Cook coming in there, as well as Alex Widener for the stop.
Big call. Great stop by the Gale defense. Wow. But as we just talked about, Coach White is not afraid to roll the dice. He knows his team. He knows what he's doing, and he's playing percentages.
It's a good look at A.J. He's had a great second half here with that punt block and then a big stop right there. 1st and 10 Gales. Tell you what, Shu, this is going to be one of our tougher decisions on players of the game, I think. Tight ball game like this, lots of guys in on the action.
We'll just leave it to Mareion to make the choice then. Can't you defer those things, huh?
Why not?
Yeah.
Richards takes a handoff. Richards still on his feet. Good run out across the 40. And finally brought down at about the 42-yard line.
You take 8 yards on 1st down anytime.
Absolutely. $11:21 and counting here in this fourth quarter rather. 2nd and a long 2 for the Gales. Handoff right up the middle. A flag comes in.
Well, that's a curse against you offensively when you see the umpire toss that.
Get our Fleet Masters call here momentarily.
52 offense. So 15 yards.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Okay.
Here's the Kumler Collision automotive repair replay from that stop.
52 offense. 2nd down.
Watch Cook come in here. Make a good stick, and then got some help from his teammates.
Yeah, great effort, great pursuit by the Gale defense.
After the penalty, it backs him up. 2nd and 16 at the 29. Monk rolling out the pass, looking downfield, fires one out here. Max Hamilton's down here, and it's broken up by number 20. That's David May. Good defense by May there. It was one-on-one coverage. Like Hamilton did a good job to get in front of May, just couldn't get up high enough to get the ball, bring it down.
Yeah, I thought he was going to cut his face and maybe make a catch there. That would have been devastating for the Hilliard defenders.
Watch him make this cut in front,
Yeah, he cuts his face, and boy, as a defender, you don't want him to cut your face in that situation.
May was just able to out-jump Hamilton. 3rd and 16. Monk on the keeper. He's got some room and a blocker. Monk down the far sideline to the 40, 35 to the 20, and knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Great call and a great run by Tyler Monk.
Well, it's a great call, Jared, because they have not run the quarterback a whole lot tonight, and especially recently. So it's a great call because you had inside influence, which opened up that cut down the sideline.
Tyler Monk showed some speed down that far sideline as well.
You know, he's had a really great game tonight.
Yeah.
He has done a great job of the offense. Really done very, very well, Jared.
Monk hands it off to Richards, and Richards is going to be tackled in the backfield. Great job that time, 17. Benton Snyder coming in, making the stop.
He did a great job. His penetration and attack of the runner.
Here's a replay of that run by Tyler Monk.
Yeah, look at all the inside people, Jared. Yep. It looks like a youth soccer game there at one point where you got 20 people in one spot.
Yeah, you're right.
Just fantastic right there. Great fake. But now you got to execute in this shorter area, and it's harder.
Yeah. Well, now your second goal from the 13.
It's tough. You got to make plays here.
Yep.
You got 3 downs to make a play to get the lead.
Monk will keep it himself again around the right side. And out of bounds. Across the 10, looks like about the 8.5-yard line. Tyler Monk's a tough kid. Last year, as a sophomore starting on the baseball field, starting at second base, he took a ground ball off of his finger, broke his finger in the middle of the play, stayed in for the rest of the inning.
Wow.
And came out with blood all over him. But just a tough kid.
Well, they're having a little trouble getting the play. I think they'll have to call timeout.
Okay, we got timeout. Lancaster.
Gales do take a timeout. Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. You can check out their website at carriagecompany.com. We mentioned that tonight was Hall of Fame induction night here at Lancaster High School. Not necessarily athletic Hall of Fame, just students. Lancaster High School Hall of Fame inductees, and there they are.
I love it because I think it shows the diversity and talent of the people coming out of the school district, Jared. Yes, they have some athletic backgrounds and some outstanding athletic backgrounds, but you look at the class of 1954, Beverly K. Hardesty Logan. Class of 57, Richard B. Bradford. The class of 1966 with Mark Balch. And the class of 1992, and I hope I see him before he leaves tonight, is Joe Ogilvie. So, as I said, I've got a funny story I could tell you, but I'm really not going to tell it on air about Joe. It's nothing bad, but it's quite a funny story, and him being the ornery one that he is, make sure we tell Mareion that I want to see him before he leaves, if you would.
And how about the career of Mark Baltz as well?
NFL official, 25 years, Jared.
Wow.
Come on, Gales! Punch it in!
3rd down and 9 for the Gales. Monk, busted play. And he's just trying to make something out of nothing. Cutting it up at the 10-yard line. Still on his feet to the 5. Diving ahead to the 1-yard line. What a job by Tyler Monk. That play was going nowhere.
That's backyard football, Jared. Wing it. Wow, what an effort.
It looked like the intended, the person who he wanted to hand off to was already past him when he took the snap. So he just had to make something up.
He did that all on his own there.
But a big 4th down right here. 4th and goal from just outside the 1-yard line for the Gales.
Well, I think they're going to make them not, they've had success with the straight fullback. I don't think Hilliard will allow that.
Pearson lines up right behind Monk. It'll be Pearson, and he did not get it. I don't think so. The Davidson Wildcats come up with a huge stop at the goal line.
I just felt like they were going to overload the area there and not let them have that.
Your goal line.
So Hilliard Davidson will take over 1st and 10 on the 1-yard line. Wow, big stop there. Looked like momentum was clearly going into the favor of Lancaster, and then a big stop for the Davidson Wildcats.
Your 1st down.
8:53 and counting here in this 4th quarter. Wildcats lead at 10-7 over the Gales. Filicetti hands off, diving forward.
Take it down.
Is number 12, Caleb O'Connor. Second down and 7 for the Wildcats. Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Looks like there's some confusion in that Davidson backfield. Filicetti hands off. There was a big hole there. And it looks like, man, still on his feet. What a run that time. I couldn't catch the number, but he gets a first down.
Unbelievable effort.
Wow. We've got 2 injured players, 1 from each team. And while we have a stoppage play, we've got some guests down on the sideline. Mareion Royster standing by with some of our Lancaster High School Hall of Fame inductees. Take it away, Mareion.
Thanks, Jared. Yes, I have here the newest class of the Lancaster High School Hall of Fame inductees. I have Rich Bradford, Mark Baltz, Joe Ogilvie. Gentlemen, thank you for being here today, and thank you for being here with Lancaster High School and traveling from distances to be here and represent this. How did you feel about coming back today? Being a part of this ceremony. Is it special feelings to be back in Lancaster?
Sure, I think it's great. I mean, we all 3 grew up here, and we got to meet with some of the students today and reminisce about the days when we were here many years ago. Not so many with Joey, but definitely with Rich and I. But really an honor to be back and the great traditions that they have here at Lancaster High School, and being able to meet with the students today and being honored tomorrow. It's a great thrill.
I'll ask you, Rich, because you are the longest since you've graduated from Lancaster High School. What do you think of the changes of the school thus far? The differences between how it was when you were here and how it is today?
We were much smaller, of course, and they're much bigger today, but they're much better organized in a lot of respects. So my hat's off to them. Hats off to them.
And you had a great career here, and then you went to Indiana University and played football there. Any fond memories when you were in Bloomington, or a favorite memory you might have?
Oh, I have a number of memories there, and one in particular was playing in a game against Ohio State in a 0-0 tie that Sports Illustrated later told us we won the ball game.
Well, win's a win, right? It happens on the field or in Sports Illustrated. Mark, I'll ask you, you're actually a place near and dear to my heart, Athens, Ohio University. Spent some time there and then went and had an excellent career as an NFL official. Just, some of your thoughts about your time in Athens and then in the NFL.
Well, it was really great being in Athens. The National Football League at that time had 60 officials, and 3 of them actually lived in Athens, Ohio, which was very unusual back in the 60s. And as they said in the announcements, Dick England here, the former coach and athletic director, got me started in officiating. And I just had a very fortunate career to be able to move up the ladder like I did and work in small college and in the Big Ten and 25 years in the NFL. A great thrill.
You probably get this question all the time, but what do you think of the rule changes now in the NFL with scoring being all over the place as opposed to where it was maybe 10 or 20 years ago?
Well, it's a wide-open football game with your West Coast offenses and your very talented quarterbacks and wide receivers, and the running game has taken a little bit of a back seat, but you're dealing with some of the greatest athletes in the world. And I know when I went in 1989, they were big and strong and quick, and 25 years later when I retired, they were just bigger, quicker, faster, stronger, and I was just 25 years older, so it really got tough to keep up with them. But the greatest athletes in the world play football in the NFL. Great people.
Thank you, Joe. I'll move over to you, and I certainly don't mean to cut you out again because you have had a fantastic career yourself. Obviously, excellent accomplishments here at Lancaster. You went on to Duke University, had a great career there in golf, and then a 15-year career of the PGA Tour. What was that like?
That was great. I mean, I met all my heroes, right? I met Arnold Palmer my rookie year. I met Jack Nicklaus shortly thereafter, and then I played a lot of golf with Tiger Woods and watched him grow up, and probably our best player ever. So it was fantastic. I mean, golf and whatever you're doing in your profession, when you reach a certain height, I mean, the coolest thing it is the people you meet, and whether it's golf, football, business, a GE, you meet just wonderful people, and I think that's what I take away from the PGA Tour.
Speaking of which, as you said, you transitioned into a wonderful career in business, venture capitalist. Is that correct? Or
we're long-only value, so we're just kind of like we buy cheap companies, or we try to find them, and we hold them for a long time.
How was the transition from leaving the PGA Tour into that world?
It was good. I mean, I kind of had 10 years ago. I kind of thought I wanted to do something different than golf, and I kind of planned my career to kind of take advantage of the people I've met and really kind of leverage the Duke education, and it's been a good transition. My talent finally caught up to me in golf, so it was easier than most.
Outstanding. Gentlemen, all three of you, congratulations on your wonderful honor. Congratulations on, your accomplishments in business and sports and everything else. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for doing this interview. We really appreciate it. Back to you, Jared.
Thanks a lot, Mareion, and thank you to those three gentlemen. Great contributors here to Lancaster High School. Just a few of the many well-known people who have come through Lancaster High School and gone on to do some great things in their lives. Well-spoken men as well.
It's outstanding. Those kind of things give me chills and make me smile, Jared. I'm big on loyalty and just being thankful for the things that we do have and how fortunate you and I are even just at, being here. So what a great privilege.
There's a handoff to Goss, and he's got a first down.
Well, this is kind of it in a nutshell, Jared. This is going to be the game here.
Yeah.
You got down to the half-yard line, couldn't punch it in, so this will be your last opportunity probably.
And Shu, you learn something new every day, right? I learned something. I didn't know that 3 officials in the NFL at the time that Richard was, or Mark was an official, lived in Athens.
No, I had no idea. 3 of the NFL officials were living in Athens, Ohio.
Goss, another carry. He got up limping after that last one, and he took another hit on the leg there, but it's a pretty good carry up to about the 23-yard line.
This has kind of evolved into the game we thought it would be. It's 10-7, 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and it has been really physical.
It has.
I can tell you the contact interiorly, the blocking on the perimeter, and the tackles, it's a very, very physical football game.
2nd and 5. Pearson. There was a big hole there momentarily, and it closed up pretty quickly, but still a good gain near the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd. Actually, no, they only gave him about a yard there. So 3rd and 2 at the 20. Clock rolls at 4:18.
Yeah, you're getting down to the point where you got to run your best play that you're most comfortable with, Jared.
Monk keeps it himself. He's across the 10, the 5, touchdown Gale.
Wow, what I say, that must be the one they're most comfortable with,
Absolutely.
Right? I would be after watching him this quarter.
And right down there at the end of the end zone are the administrators giving him high fives, led by former coach Andy Knuckles, Scott Burry, Steve Spangler down there to greet Tyler when he got to the back of the end zone.
Well, it's going to come down to 3 minutes and 57 seconds here.
Stay off the center. Try for point.
Peyton Stewart to attempt the extra point. This is a big attempt right here. Put him up by 4. It's up, and it is good.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's really big.
Especially with the kicker that Davidson has.
So 3:57 to play in the ball game. The Gales retake the lead 14-10. And let's get a replay of that touchdown run by Tyler Monk. I believe that was the play before. But just a great job. I can tell you what, Tyler has really stepped it up.
Well, they caught him on the quarterback keep again, except this time they came left, and they have not done that to the left. So, again, it's a play that they're comfortable with, but it's also something that they have not shown a lot of tonight. So watch him here. But look at him turn the jets on here a little bit. The defender actually has a pretty good angle, but he just turned it on and went for 6.
And then look back, you see Knuckles there in the back of the end zone just getting all fired up. There's Tyler on the sideline. Let's get down to Mareion. Mareion, total shift right now looks like in the life on the Lancaster side.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's been the calling card for this whole entire evening for the Gales. Every time they need a big play, Monk has delivered sweet plays, long runs. It's been great. He's really done a fantastic job of, doing what he needs to do when his number's called. And you guys mentioned earlier you couldn't decide a player of the game. I think it just became a little bit clearer. So if you need me to make that choice now, I think I can do it.
Kickoff return will be taken up across the 32-yard line.
There you go.
3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Gales up 14-10. after a big touchdown run by Tyler Monk. First and 10 for the Wildcats. Pitch out. Coming to Hicks. Hicks trying to get outside. And Cook is over there to drive him out of bounds. But I think might be enough for a first down. It's close.
I think they're marking him short, Jared. Putting it right at the 40. You know, they've had some really good success getting outside on the option here this second half.
Clock is stopped at 3:40 as Hicks went out of bounds.
What's another advantage of trying to get on the perimeter is you save clock time.
Philosophy, long snap count. Wow. He couldn't even get a handoff off.
No.
73, Dalton Golden blasts through there and just knocks him down.
You know, whatever. He found an opening or a seam there on that shift. You saw the defensive line shift.
Dalton Golden, a 5'11", 335-pound sophomore, lined up right across from the center who's verbally committed to Army.
Yeah, but he shifted late. If you saw, and he saw and we talked about the gaps in the offensive line.
Right, yeah. Here's a handoff right up the middle. Or no, Filicetti kept it again. And he's brought down after maybe a gain of 1. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 5.
Yeah, but 3 minutes to go. There's no way.
Is this the play where Dalton comes through? Look at that. Oh, wow. Filicetti's like, what hit me? What was that?
He was not expecting that
no way.
at all.
4th and 4 for the Wildcats. Filicetti drops back to pass. He's got a man over the middle. He's open. It's caught at the 35-yard line.
Wow.
Number 23, Christian Sweet, who's had a big game in special teams. Now he's getting in on the act on the receiving end.
Well, when you don't throw the ball game, that's a really nice throw, Jared. He put it right there where he could catch it and the defender could not get it.
There was the Gale scoring drive from earlier. 5 plays, 41 yards, 2:14 off the clock, and a 20-yard touchdown run by Tyler Monk. But right now their defense needs to step up here. There's a pitch out
flag
to Hicks, and a flag comes in.
Got flag.
We'll get our Fleet Masters call.
He's got a chop block on the offense, I believe.
That'll be big, yes, it is.
Well, basically the rule is if somebody's engaged, another person cannot hit you below the knees. And
15.
That's a great rule.
Yeah. That backs him all the way up, all the way back.
Okay, a block below the waist. Offense number 52. Your first down.
Brings it back to the 42-yard line. 1st and 25. 2:15 to play in the ball game. Filicetti passes out to the near side, and A.J. Cook is there again to make a stop.
What an outstanding tackle. He's one-on-one out there on an island. He's got to make that tackle, or that could be some big yardage.
Boy, he's had a heck of a second half. Watch him come out of his safety position and just boom.
Form tackle, Jared.
Yep. 2nd and 25, no gain on that last play. Handoff right up the middle, and that was just stuffed. There was nothing there, no hole.
Yeah, you can see who was filling the hole right there, didn't you?
Dalton Golden.
Yep. Dalton's done a great job. Like we said, he's playing against a first-team All-State center who has committed to the Naval Academy at West Point, or a U.S. Military Academy at West Point. So he's had a great effort tonight lining up across from an outstanding football player.
So Davidson takes a timeout.
1-1, Paul. 1-1.
Minute 33 showing on the clock. Lancaster leads it 14-10. It's Hilliard Davidson football, 3rd and 25 at the 42-yard line.
Hey, this is fun for us. You know, we get to sit up here and, you know, we've had a couple, unfortunately, that weren't tight. And this is fun watching, you know, time score situations, coaching, kids playing hard. Minute and a half to go, 4-point lead. This is exciting.
Yeah. 3rd and 25. Filicetti drops back to pass. He's being pressured, and he's sacked at the 50-yard line. 74, Spencer Smith comes in to make the sack.
And again, I'll give a little bit of space to
Got timeout.
the lineman on that situation. When you have blocked, run, you know, block for the run the whole game. Pass blocking is different technique and style. Now, I certainly don't have all the answers of, you know, the details of all that, but it's very different. Talk to any football coach. It's a totally different thought process and detail. And the Lancaster defense has sent people, put pressure on, and that's a huge play, Jared. They got 4th and 25. I think it's a little further, isn't it?
I think so.
It was 3rd down.
Or did they stop forward progress there? Did they?
Wow.
I mean, the balls, you had him at the 50, and as I did.
Yeah, when he was tackled at the 50. Huh.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Tim, talking about, you know, the offensive line. They're used to firing out. They're used to, you know, attacking, and then they're back on their heels for the pass protection. So it's a big, you know, shift in what they've been used to doing. So we'll see what happens on this 4th down.
Filicetti back to pass. Fires one down there, has 2 receivers out there. It's intercepted by A.J. Cook.
Yes.
At the 16-yard line.
I tell you, he came a long way for the football. He made a great play coming across the field.
He has had a tremendous second half. So the Gales will take over on downs. 1st and 10 at their own 17. With a 14-10 lead, a minute and 15 to play in the ball game.
Well, now you just take a knee, Jared. They're out of timeouts. Yep. You know, you do the victory stance here.
Timeout.
Lancaster will take a timeout. No, make sure they've got everything in order.
But see, that's really smart because the clock hasn't started anyway. So you go ahead and do that.
Right.
You make sure that you understand what you've got to do in this situation. You certainly don't want any kind of a mistake.
What a defensive stand. Of course, it was helped out, too, by a big block below the waist.
Well, again, you know, we've said all night, if you turn it over or you commit penalties in these type of offenses, it's even harder than normal offense because it's tougher to make up that ground.
Yeah.
But it's been a fun game from our standpoint, you know.
Definitely a different game than last year. A game that Hilliard Davidson won up there 31-7. Really wasn't much of a game after the first quarter.
No, they really dominated and took care of Lancaster that night up there. But this is kind of going to be a little bit of a sweet one for Lancaster to win tonight. Plus, as we talked about, going into the second half of the season, you got a little momentum now. You can see the current statistics, and you know, in all honesty, you know, if you're going to compare statistics, Lancaster's doubled them.
Yep.
And you know, with a big pass here and there, both teams have had a couple of those, but Davidson's had a couple of really nice pass plays in this 4th quarter that's really gotten them and gave them a chance to win.
Which has been surprising on both sides.
I know. But we talked about that early, that, you know, whoever had a little success maybe in a passing game might turn the tide. Or, you know what, a special teams play almost turned the whole tide also. And it just comes down to a few little things in these kind of games. And it's frustrating to lose, and it's fun to win. So
Gales are in victory formation. Tyler Monk will kneel on it. And the Gales will make it 3 wins in a row to raise their record to 3-2 on the season. Huge come from behind victory for the Lancaster Golden Gales tonight, 14-10 over the Hilliard Davidson Wildcats. Some big plays got them there, both offensively and defensively. Coach Carpenter and his staff have to be thrilled with what they saw of their team tonight.
Well, again, I think both teams learned a lot about their team as far as being in adverse spots. You lose by 4 points, you feel like you lost the Super Bowl when you lose a game because you got a whole week to wait. But honestly, both teams grew a lot tonight, Jared. I'm sure from, we didn't see last week's or the prior week's games, but I bet if you go in and you honestly evaluated, both coaches look at a film and look at things, they would say, yeah, we got better scenarios.
Tonight's final stats are brought to you by Don's Furniture and Mattress, located at 1118 East Main Street. They've been serving the Lancaster and Fairfield County area for 23 years. Over those years, Don's has supported numerous charities and youth sports teams, and they continue to support our community. Don's values every customer and wishes all area teams a successful season. To find out more, you can visit them on the web at donsfurniture.com.
And there you go. We just saw those a moment ago. When you look at it, Hilliard ended up with 191 total yards and Lancaster with 363 total yards, so not a huge gap. Just came down to some execution at key times, and whoever loses this kind of a game tonight is going to feel like they did not execute in prime time. So, but that's what you work at in coaching and trying to get your team better. And going into the second half of the season, you got to move forward either way.
Time to give you our offensive and defensive players of the game. Let's go with the offensive player of the game first, brought to you by Fairfield National Bank. There's no one like you. Your hopes, dreams, talents, and experiences, even what you value in a bank, are unique to you. That's why instead of telling you what we can do, we'd rather listen to what you need. Because at Fairfield National Bank, your story is the one that matters. There's no one like you. There's no bank like us. Could there be a better reason to meet? Fairfield National Bank. Be delighted with your bank. Fairfield National Bank is a division of the Park National Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Visit them online at fairfieldnationalbank.com.
Yeah, I think Mareion already hit the nail on the head. Tyler Monk made the offense go this half. Big plays. I thought he ran the offense extremely well all night, Jared. Had a little miscue early, but then he never had any errors or anything at all that really slowed his game down tonight. And I think Tyler's the offensive player of the game for us.
Congratulations, Tyler Monk, the offensive player of the game. Tonight's defensive player of the game is brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in providing personalized insurance coverage that meets the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards at Edwards Insurance Agency today.
Outstanding defensive game from A.J. Cook. I thought the defense in itself played really well overall.
Yeah.
But A.J. stood out, and he made the biggest interception that he's ever made.
Absolutely.
Right there, as he saved the game by getting clear across the field and making a beautiful, beautiful defensive play.
Mareion, let's go down to you for your final thoughts on this one tonight.
Well, it was obviously a really hard-fought game by both teams. Both teams have a lot to be proud of, take, a lot of great things away from the game. But, of course, the Gales came out victorious. I was very impressed at the fact that, they gave up the big halfback pass on a busted assignment. Of course, that they're in the third quarter, but they hung in there. They didn't get rattled. To my knowledge, I don't think they gave up any more points for the rest of the game. And they made plays when they had to. You guys mentioned the offensive and defensive player of the game. And Dalton Golden on the, the last drive there was really unblockable. And he made some key plays, had a sack, had a hurry that led to another sack and a couple key stops. So great game for the Gales, some good momentum for them to take into conference play, and they should be excited about where their season's going now.
Congratulations to the Lancaster Golden Gales on their third victory in a row, raising their record now to 3-2 after the 14-10 win tonight, avenging a 31-7 loss last year to the Hilliard Davidson team. Tim, it's been a good one tonight. Hot one, but a good one.
Been a pleasure, Jared. Hopefully next week it'll just be a little cooler.
Again, your final score, Lancaster 14, Hilliard Davidson 10. For Mareion, Royster, and Tim Shumaker and our entire crew at Interface Video Productions, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, Edwards Insurance, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Tiki Bowling Lane, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Meals on Wheels, Granville Milling, Don's Furniture, Sheridan Funeral Home, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, Fairfield DD, Huddle Tire, Dagger Law, The Carriage Company, Absolute Lawn Care and Snow Removal, the Lancaster Eagle Gazette, Fleet Masters, and Buckeye Lake Marina. This has been an IVP Sports production.